Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1990s Misery.
I tell you what, I am Kathy Bates' number one fan. I'm Annie Wilkes' number one fan because she is one of my favorite, most underrated villains of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
She's great. Oh my God.
She is so good in this movie. It's incredible. So, I mean, you already know my fascination with this movie. I love James Caan. I love Kathy Bates. Put them both together, and you just get like a fantastic film. That's it. Nothing to be said. Spoiler alert. I think this one stands the test of time. But let's get into the movie. And before we do, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Idle Poncho. And let's get into the two cast of characters in the film Misery.
Yes, please.
This film stars James Caan as Paul Sheldon and Kathy Bates as Ann Wilkes and a couple other actors, I think, show up in this movie. Lauren Bacall shows up for a second.
I was going to say the studio had Lauren Bacall still on contract for like one film due since like 1974, and they're just like, fuck it, just throw her in Misery, dude. I don't know, play an agent.
Yeah, she's an agent. She's an agent for a writer. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
Give her 2 minutes of screen time. It's cool.
Not a bad business.
If you haven't seen this, I think we should start with this. If you haven't seen this movie but have read the book, if you're kind of one of those snobby people, you're going to be very disappointed in the movie because it is so different from the book.
Okay, now I'm not one of those people. I don't read.
Yes, that's one of the things I like most about you.
However, I did read this book ages ago.
Yes.
And I actually read it after I watched the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the book's incredible. But
yes.
I don't, and it is much different, but I don't want to be those guys. So
oh no, we're not going to go through that.
Let's jump into the movie, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
So this movie opens up with Paul Sheldon finishing his latest book. He drives back to New York from the Silver Creek Lodge. I already have a question.
Yes.
So he drives, he does this every book.
Yes.
This gets revealed in the film. So he drives to the Silver Creek Lodge, stays there, finishes his book, and then drives back to New York.
Yes.
It's wintertime.
Yes.
And he drove his Mustang? This some bitch don't own a truck?
Yeah, anything that isn't rear-wheel drive would be great in this situation.
He drove a fucking NASCAR to Silver Creek, and he's like, yeah, it only gets 12 feet of snow every winter. So sure, I'll drive my Mustang.
I'm getting a little loose in the turn.
He's like, I like drifting, so I'm driving this bitch.
Yeah, he Tokyo drifts right the fuck off a mountain.
So in the next scene, he Tokyo drifts right off a mountain, rolls down the hill, and you think, oh, he dead, but he not. So during this crash, during the blizzard, he's then rescued by Nurse Annie Wilkes, who takes him back to her house to heal because roads are closed, phones don't work, shit's all down. You've just been in a horrible car accident. You see her legs. She pulls the sheets off his legs, and she's like, well, you know.
Considering what I had around the house, I don't think there's a doctor who could have done any better.
First of all, did you see my legs? I look like a Muppet. Like, my legs are in knots. My feet look like Cabbage Patch dolls with tiny toes and, like, swollen feet.
Yeah, he looks like that's how good a doctor would have done during the Civil War. He's got like a stick and bindle holding his fucking legs together. And you want me to believe that that's just as good as the doctor can do? No, man, you're a deep shit right away.
I mean, maybe up in Silver Creek, But she was just like, yeah, I just finished eating 4 bomb pops. I stuck that to your legs. I got the sticks. You're good. You're fine. Your legs are going to heal just fine.
Oh, great.
Okay, cool. So right there should be a clue for your ass that shit's probably going to go sideways.
Yeah, anytime somebody answers your question with, oh, well, the thing is, you see, maybe, but all that shit is a sign that you are in trouble.
Yes. And
Big
nowadays, in 2021, what had happened was, you could add that to the list.
Yes.
But she goes into this whole thing, and I'm your number one fan. And okay, again, I'm a fan of yours is fine. When somebody says,
I'm your number one fan.
run for the goddamn hills, because that person is crazy. Just
Yeah. I think
right
the
off
last person that said they were our number one fan ended up storming the fucking Capitol. So, FYI.
with a kiss the reviews sign.
Yeah.
Like,
He got us in all kinds of shit.
So Annie then asks if she can read his new book that he's been working on. Because she also reveals here that she's literally been following him, and I see the light on in the room that you normally get. And I know that you said this on Merv Griffin 11 years ago, and goes through this whole thing and asks if she can read his new book, the manuscript for his new book.
Which, let's just stop right here. If you know everything about this guy, this writer, bitch, ask to see his dick before you ask to see his fucking manuscript he's turned in. Are you out of your fucking mind? I wouldn't let my parents read that. There's no way.
Well, here's the thing.
That's personal as shit.
Your legs are a mangled mess. Did she really have to ask?
That's fair. Then just say it's rhetorical. But
what the script should have read here was, hey, I got your manuscript, already read it. This is bullshit, because he lets her read this thing, right? After a little bit of back and forth and whatever.
yes.
She loses her shit here because apparently there's just all the swearing and they're cussing through the whole thing, and she would not like this show. She is not our number one fan.
Oh no, we're dirty birdies.
So she hates the book, and I love his explanation because he's like,
these are slum kids. I was a slum kid. Everybody talks like that.
and then her answer back to her is like, no, they don't. And the effing thing, and she spills the
the
soup.
Scene.
It's fantastic because she loses her shit.
And the use, this is what I found really interesting because, and I'm going to be that guy, but in the book, she doesn't swear at all. In this scene, she swears. She says, oh, give me the bastard chicken and give me the, 10 pounds of cocking meat and blah, blah, blah.
In the bank, do I tell Mrs. Bollinger, oh, here's one big bastard of a check. Give me some of your Christing money?
So everything she says there was original for that script. And I don't know if it was improv or if it was actually written in, but this was done so well because you can tell she doesn't curse. She sounds like a 12-year-old or 6-year-old nowadays. I don't know.
She sounds like this was like a scene taken out from Balky Bartokomous. She sounds like Balky Bartokomous trying to swear in complete English sentences.
Of course, no, don't be ridiculous.
And that's what makes the scene A, so believable, and B, so good.
Yes.
So,
and just the way it's shot too, with her just kind of throwing the soup around with the spoon, and him just kind of glancing down but not wanting to say anything. James Caan did so well in this movie for having a total of 12 lines.
Yeah,
he was fantastic in this movie. The subtle things they did were fantastic.
Yeah, most of his lines in this movie were like,
It's fine.
That
So-
and awkwardly flirting with Annie.
Yes. So the next day, Annie brings home a copy of the final Misery book and begins to read it. She also starts to reveal her crazy a little bit more as the scenes go on. And I like how they did it's just like this gradual, like she's either like super fan or she's like crazy.
Yes.
And it's slowly revealed throughout this whole piece. And
that's what I also like in this verse of the book as well. Because this, and I'm going to keep bringing it up, even though it's going to piss you off, because this is one of the few examples where the movie is actually better than the book, in my opinion. And one of the subtleties is that, because in the book, Annie starts off pretty much batshit. Like, you can tell immediately she's crazy. Yeah. She's already fucking with him with the pills and things like that.
Yeah.
He knows immediately she's off. And this, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
She seems like maybe she's just like kind of a lonely spinster, you know, and then it starts to unravel a little bit where it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe she's, you know, one of those Christian crazy people. It's like no cock-a-doodle words. And then it's like, oh no, this bitch is all the way gone.
Yes, she's certifiable. Annie then finally finishes the new Misery book. And she freaks the fuck out.
I haven't seen this movie now in a very long time. I know the big scene is coming.
Yes.
Which is one of the most revolting scenes in movie history.
Yes.
So I think it's this, and I noticed now, like when I'm watching it, I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck. Oh, here comes the scene. Like I'm talking to myself like an asshole. Like, here comes the scene, Corey. Get ready. Gotta gear up, bro. Yeah. Super Bowl face. Like I had to Game 7 myself into watching this movie, and nothing even happens here. She just loses it and cracks a fucking table over his head.
Yes. And she freaks out here that he kills off Misery, the main character in the Misery books, in this last book. And she threatens to kill him. She breaks the table over his fucking head. And then she also tells him that she never called the hospital. She never called his agent. Yeah. Like, she reveals all that stuff to him here, too. It basically says that she's going to kill him if he doesn't rewrite the Misery book.
Yes, because he has murdered her. And and this is, again, PSA. Hi, kids. Uncle Corey. Never try and reason with crazy. Just doesn't work. No. And that's what he tries to do here, that it only enrages her more. Because he says, you know, I didn't kill her. She died during childbirth. This Victorian era that they live in, a lot of women died during childbirth. It's kind of what happens. Yeah. But her spirit lives on. Like, he's trying to really, like, talk to her like she's just kind of an upset fan.
Yeah.
And that's when she's kind of like, oh, by the way, bitch, I didn't call the hospital. I ain't called your fucking daughter. Your fucking agent. I killed your agent already. I ate her. Like, she just goes down the list of you're done.
Then Crazy Annie tells him to burn his manuscript, which he does reluctantly.
Dude, this was gut-wrenching watching him do this. But, like, you want me to burn, like, all that time and energy? And, oh, my God, fuck you. At that point, if I light a match to this book, you can expect a match to be lit on your dress.
Yes.
Because I'm burning you up.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
You can say hi to Misery in hell.
So she then wants him to write a new book in which Misery comes back to life. And she buys him a typewriter and the most expensive paper they had.
I got you this expensive paper to type on.
During this scene, he sees like a hairpin on the floor. He has an idea to get her out of the house so that he can try to escape. So he asks her to buy different paper because this paper smudges, and she loses her shit again.
And again, he tries to reason with Crazy, because you're watching it at home like, well, it seems reasonable. Like, he shows her it smudges.
But mine cost the most. So I don't see how it can smudge.
My favorite is she was because she's still calm. And I like how he writes the word smudge on the paper and then rubs it. But then she's like, okay, fine, I'll go get you more paper. And then as she's leaving, she's like, do you need anything else? Do you need any magic pens? Or whatever the hell she says.
Because if you want, I'll bring back the whole store for you.
That whole piece is hilarious. The way it's delivered is perfect.
Oh, yeah. And this is where I wish instead of Paul Sheldon, the writer, we had John Bender from Breakfast Club. So she's like, do you need anything else?
Yes.
Can I get you some pens?
No.
By the way, I got you a typewriter that doesn't, you can't type the letter N.
And I got a great deal on this 50-pound clunker on account of its missing an N.
I do type a lot, emails and such. I'm not a writer, but I would assume that there's a lot of words in the English language that have the letter N in it.
There are. There really are. It's a fun letter. It's useful.
Yes. So while she leaves, so she goes shopping for his paper and special magic pens. And Paul uses the hairpin to unlock his bedroom and escape in air quotes. He finds out the front door is locked. So he goes into the living room, into the medicine closet, and basically finds out that the house that she lives in is literally one step away from the House of 1,000 Corpses house. She's about 10 minutes away from making skin lamps.
Yeah,
And-
I was going to say that this reminded me a lot of the bunker in Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
It's
yes.
just stocked with everything you need to survive the apocalypse.
Yes. And she also, has all her, I don't know, Precious Moments dolls or whatever the fuck she collects.
Okay. Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. If you know somebody under 50 that collects glass figurines, not like cool Funko Pops and shit like that, because those people are cool as hell, but like glass figurines, that shit's freaky. You need to back away.
Oh, agreed. I own 0 Funko Pops, or whatever they're called.
Doesn't make you cool.
What?
Doesn't make you better than me.
Hell, I only own 3 VHS tapes, so I don't own very much.
No. We need to start a GoFundMe account for Armando.
Yes, we do. In the living room, he accidentally knocks that small ceramic penguin off the table, puts it back the wrong way, which comes up later. He also realizes that Annie's phone is fake, and he's pretty much fucked at this point.
Yeah, and now you're in the nuclear bomb town from The Hills Have Eyes, where just everything's fake and there's just some fucking blob watching TV.
Exactly. So he basically realizes here, in order to escape, he's gonna have to kill her. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
And in the medicine closet, he takes some of the pills that Annie's been giving him. He also tries to escape through the back door, which he can't open it. So he hears Annie returning, and he frantically tries to get back into the bedroom and straighten out things and make sure. This scene made me sweat. It made me sweat
so much.
Like when she finally comes in, so he makes it to the room. She swings the door open, and he made it just in time. And he is sweating profusely. And she's like, "Oh my God, the perspiration." I was sweating just as much as he was.
Oh, dude, I went and took a fucking ice bath after this. My legs hurt so bad. Like, are you kidding me?
In the morning, they get into an argument about the book, to which she freaks out again about her growing up in Bakersfield and watching chapter plays. And she goes into this thing about Rocket Man. And then she gives the ultimate, my favorite line of the movie.
They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car.
She has quite a few really epic rants through this movie.
Yes.
This one is probably one of my favorites.
I think this one's probably the best one.
because it's just the exclamation point is he didn't get out of the cockadoodie car, and the way she delivers it, it's scary and it's freaking hilarious.
Yes.
It's all of those things just
Yes. The only way you're comfortable laughing at it is watching it at home, like on television.
yes.
They had an idea to put this out as a Broadway play at some point. If I had to sit through the theater and watch her do that, I would have got up and left. And not because I was laughing. Like, you're not getting me. Yeah, no, sir. Not killing me, Annie Wilkes.
Oh, so meanwhile, the local authorities find Sheldon's Mustang in the snow down the hill, and they're in this like frantic search for him. That's like the B plot to this whole thing. And when Annie then reads some of Paul's new manuscript, she's over the moon happy. Paul suggests that they have dinner together to celebrate Misery's return. And at the dinner, Paul makes a toast to Misery's return, but then asks if she has any candles. I love Paul Sheldon in this because it's at every little turn, he was like, you got any candles? You got any candles in this place? Why don't you go give me some candles? It'll be nice. It'll be nice. And he's like, I'm going to put some shit in your drink.
Dude, he's trying so hard to like fake his way through flirting and trying to be sweet and nice, and it doesn't come off well at all. And I think, and I don't know if this is true because they don't necessarily say it in the book, because it didn't go down that way. I don't think, but I think she spills that glass on purpose.
I thought the same thing. It's like it's never brought up again. It's never, mentioned. It's almost like did she or didn't she? And I'm like, dude, she absolutely saw that shit. Was like, I'm on to you. Like, I'm crazy. Like, I'm crazy. I'm not stupid. Like,
he poured that much wine, sent me out of the room for candles. Yeah. Like, yeah, dude, she's way too smart for that. She's been ahead of him every step of the way.
Absolutely. So the next scene shows that it's basically a montage of Paul writing the book. In the last clip, Annie gives him pills and talks about committing suicide. When she leaves the house, he goes out of his room again, reads her scrapbook, which is basically a scrapbook of crazy. It's
look at the murders I've done.
Yeah, it's all of these newspaper clippings revealing that she killed her father, her college roommate, patients at the hospital,
her husband.
And so he decides smartly to grab a knife from the kitchen and wheels his happy ass back into his room.
Yes, and we're just going to put the PSA here, I think. This is probably the safe place to put it.
Yeah.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey again. If you grab a weapon, don't let go of the fucking weapon.
Yes.
Ever. Period.
Don't hide it.
Fucking welded to your hand for the rest of your friggin' natural born life. There is no way I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to take a nap now. Tuck that under the fucking mattress. Come on. Come on.
That was the other thing. It's like, oh, is she going to come back in? If she comes back in, he's like, ha. And he's like practicing like how to take it out of his little arm sling thing. And then he doesn't hear her anymore. And he's like, oh, cool. Well, I guess I'm going to go sleepy times now. I'm going to shove it under the mattress. Like, no. Well, first of all, I'm not sleeping.
No.
And then in the morning, she ties him to the bed, reveals that she knows that he's been out of his room, the scrapbook, the ceramic penguin, the hairpin. Then she hobbles him. I like the little story she tells.
Yes.
Explaining what she's about to do here.
They both play this so subtly.
Yes.
Both of them. It's amazing how they do this. Watching this scene going back and forth between them. And again, in a movie, it's not a 2-camera or multi-camera thing like a TV show is.
Yeah.
They are doing multiple takes of this for each reaction.
Yes.
Oh, phenomenal acting.
Oh, it's fantastic. And then She puts the block of wood between his feet, hits him with the sledgehammer in probably one of the most jarring scenes in a movie that I mean, you have a few movies like this, and I've seen, obviously, over the course of my lifetime, I've seen a lot of movies with a lot of jarring scenes. When I saw this for the very first time, the reaction was swift and it was intense. Like, if you're sweating as he's going through the house in the wheelchair, knocking shit over and trying to get back to the room, when I saw this for the first time, my whole body tensed up. It's almost like seeing somebody, like, I don't know, skateboard videos where dudes fall and like crack their head on the sidewalk. You're just like, oh my God.
This looked way too real.
It really did. The way they shot it.
Yeah, I'll sum it up like this. I remember distinctly how I felt in Basic Instinct when Sharon Stone spread her legs.
You dirty bird.
This made me feel the opposite of that.
Thanks for clarifying.
That's about the best way I could sum that up.
In the next scene, Buster, the local sheriff, sees Annie go nuts. She drops another cockadoodie here as she gets into some traffic altercation in town, and he starts to research her history.
Yes, and I like his character. His character doesn't exist in the book, and I really like his character here in the movie.
I love his character in this movie.
Yes.
And he's not like the typical, like we do a lot of like dumb cops in movies.
Yeah, no, not at all.
He's very like intuitive and he's on it.
Yep.
And his wife in this is hilarious.
Yes.
She's a great bit of comic relief throughout this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like always wanting to fuck. Like that's
oh yeah, she's horny as hell. They met in the summer of love and never stopped.
Exactly. So he decides to pay Annie a visit to her house. And when he goes to leave, he hears noise, goes back inside, finds Paul in the basement. And then Annie blows a 3-foot hole in his chest with a shotgun. And every time it gets to that part, but I've seen it a million times, but every time it gets to that part, I get a little sad because I actually really like that dude. I like that character.
Can I tell you? I got sad too because I was like, oh, his poor wife. Where the hell did that come from?
Oh, I like that tone.
His death actually meant something, which it's, in a movie like this, when you're going to have a death, that's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And again, in the book, a random cop shows up and she literally runs over his fucking head with the lawnmower. I like this one better.
Yeah.
It meant more. It was very realistic. And they actually shot that scene. It's funny because like some of the subtle differences in here, like where he gets hobbled. In the book, she takes his foot off with an axe.
Yep.
They shot that and had that scene cut, and they just thought audiences weren't going to dig it. It was going to be too much gore. So they cut it out and changed it to a hobble. Same thing with the lawnmower scene. They had that in the script and they were ready to rock with it. And they just didn't like it at all. They do the press conference to say that they think Paul Sheldon was dead and they think he's probably been drug off by animals or he's buried in the snow. They don't think they're going to find him. That cop was the cop that was supposed to get ran over with the lawnmower.
Gotcha. Okay. Like, and it's literally like back, like from right before she hobbles him through it's just like back to back to back, like banger scenes and jarring scenes.
Yes. And what I like here too is the subtlety of Jimmy Caan kind of giving up. Like Annie's, you have the scene after the hobble where Annie's like, oh, we're out with the pig and everything's normal. And he's just like, nope, I'm done. Yes. I'm completely done with all this shit. Like, I know I'm not getting out of here now, so I don't have to put on airs.
And I don't know if it's acting or true to life, But James Caan does the best I've checked out acting
Yes.
ever. It is fantastic. And I'm like, something tells me that's hitting a little too close to home for Jimmy. Like,
Yeah, I think Kathy maybe swung that sledgehammer a little too close.
So Andy tells Paul that she wants to kill him and then kill herself. And he asks if he could finish the book first. As he's writing the book, he requests a cigarette, matches, and some Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon.
The best part about this is, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you always have three things when you finish the book: cigarette, and Dom Perignon." And he just like, again, he's checked that. He's just like, whatever the fuck, yeah, sure, Dom Perignon, sure, whatever the fuck.
Dom Perignon it is.
He's over the I'm going to try to pretend.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, yeah.
He's basically turned into Sonny Corleone, who's been hobbled. Like, I can't fucking do anything, but when I can.
What are you gonna do?
So when she comes back, he also requests 2 glasses. While she's out of the room, he pours the liquid onto the manuscript and burns it, which then escalates into a brawl between the two. And Paul kills her and also gives the best line of the movie, which is,
You wanna eat it? Eat it till you choke, you shit twisted fuck!
One, yes, that's a great line. First off,
great line.
You want to eat it is a great line by itself.
Yes.
Then dropping the you twisted fuck.
Dude,
it's just that's how you're supposed to deliver that line. And I like the fact also that he didn't just go with the cliched like you crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Or, like he just didn't drop some fucking junky fucking slur against women. It was you're a twisted fuck, which is the only way you could describe her.
He went like you said, he started going Sonny Corleone. He went straight Sonny Corleone here.
What do you think this is, the army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this and bada bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
I love that scene so much, and I also love the fact that it's a real fight. Like it's not like, oh, you're a girl and this is a movie and I'm Sonny Corleone, so we have to do things certain ways or shoot. They shot this like it was fucking Fight Club, dude.
Yes.
Like they were going at it.
Yep.
That was awesome.
No, that whole ending scene to that situation was perfect. Yes. And then it cuts to like 18 months later. Paul's in a restaurant with his agent, and she wants him to write a book about his experiences. And he's just like, yeah, I'm good. We're good. I'm not doing that shit. As he sees the waitress walking over, and he sees it, which is weird because he sees it as Kathy Bates walking to him.
Yes.
But he continues the conversation because in the conversation, he's like, I know she's dead. And you see Kathy Bates walking over, and when the waitress finally gets there, and she's like, oh, hey, are you Paul Sheldon?
I just want to tell you I'm your #1 fan.
End of movie. Okay, now there's 2 people on this planet that have said, I'm your #1 fan.
Yep.
I know it's like the tagline in this thing. It's, people have used it since this movie came out. But if I'm Paul Sheldon here, I'm like, who says, like, nobody says that. And now I've heard it from 2 goddamn people. I'm going to stop writing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm not writing about my experiences. I'm not writing about misery. You know what? I've made enough money. I'm going to take the insurance check from my Mustang. I'm going to fix the bad boy up. And I'm just going to go into, I'm just going to go into the mountains somewhere and not tell anybody where the hell I'm going.
Yeah, he's about to J.D. Salinger himself all the way. And he's earned it at this point, I think. Dude, this movie's so good. It's so
it's fantastic.
understated. First off, it's the best Stephen King movie that's been made.
Yep.
I don't count The Shining because that's not a Stephen King. That's not what it was. You gotta be somewhere in the fucking ballpark. The Shining is a Stanley Kubrick movie. So this Stephen King's best movie by far to me. Obviously, this was the role that propelled Kathy Bates into superstardom, but this is still her best role. She is so unbelievably good in this movie. I mean, it's one of the top acting performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's fantastic in this movie, and because of this movie, I will watch anything she is in. Period.
Facts, especially if it's scary. Like, she's been great in American Horror Story.
She's phenomenal in American Horror Story.
Yes.
And that's part of the reason why I'm still watching American Horror Story.
Exactly.
But no, this movie, I mean, we said it at the very beginning. Yes, this movie absolutely still holds up. You still have, and I mean, I think since this movie, you've had actors and athletes and different, celebrities run into, you get these big stories where somebody comes out and stabs you or takes you hostage or whatever the hell. Like, you've seen those stories become true.
Yes.
And which makes this movie even more real.
Yes.
And even more scary.
100%.
So, and I mean, I don't know how you can be a celebrity or an athlete and watch this movie.
Oh,
like that would just be off my list.
Yeah, we get 100 more subscribers. I'm done. That's not much. We're not even close to celebrity. I'm just done. I wouldn't even watch this review again.
We get 1,000 subscribers and I'm out.
Yeah, that's right. I'm peacing out. We're syndicated. I will say there is a great accompaniment to this, which is called Castle Rock. It's on Hulu. They've canceled it. And the first season, it has nothing to do with Misery at all. But the second season solely focuses on Annie Wilkes and how she got to Silver Creek. And Lizzie Kaplan plays Annie in that. Fucking fantastic. It's a great accompaniment. And I strongly suggest watching that and then going back and watching Misery.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be a lot of fun. Like, you'll really get deep into Annie's psychosis.
Dig it. Well, that's all I got. We obviously both still think it holds up.
Yes.
This was also in our mad dash to do as many requests as possible, back to back to back. This is another request. So if you watch this, you want us to do a movie that we haven't done yet, it's probably on the list because the list is getting longer every day. But comment below. Let us know what movie you want us to do. And that's all I got. You got anything?
I'm out, son.
All right. Well, for Corey,
I'm your number one fan.
I'm your number one fan. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1990's Misery.
He didn't